days, what you got for me?
Durag Diaries, yo, what's good, people? Welcome back to the channel. Hey, I can't even lie. It's been an absolute nightmare this morning. I've been in this background for about 40 minutes trying to sort out an issue because my camera's connecting and then my mic's not connecting. It's the same old mic issues, people. The people that have been here with man for a while, it's the same old mic problems, bruv. The mic's not connecting, then it's connecting. And I thought it was me. I thought I was the tech fool. Only for me to contact their help desk on StreamYard. And they said that it's a known issue. It's a known issue. And that they're trying to resolve it. They're doing things. Had to download a whole new browser and them things to get this uploaded and set up. But unfortunately, in that time, because, you know, Henry's a busy man, we was gonna do this show from 11 to about 11:45. But look at the time now. We're starting at 11:35. So I told him to go on about his day respectfully because I'm not gonna have him waiting. But besides that, we still have to go live. I got a message this morning last night saying, Jords, you're slacking. It's not been a few days about live. And I was like, yeah, man. Yeah, for real. You guys are holding me accountable. You're live. I'm right. So there has been some news that has been dropping and things have been happening. And this morning in particular, because we know what team played last night. The dirty Chelsea Blues. They obviously played last night. They've qualified themselves into the semi-final of the Club World Cup. And Enzo Maresca was asked some questions that may or may not allude to their potential approach into this Kudus deal. So look out for that. We're going to be going through that. I need to update the name of the video and stuff because yeah, we're going to do this though. Be sure to know that this video is coming within the next 3, 4, 5 days. Don't worry about that. Me and Henry will reschedule this. So look out for that. Don't let that be, don't worry about that. But in the meantime, let's check in with the chat then. Let's see what everyone's saying. Hope everyone's having a blessed morning. It's a bit cooler over here in the UK. Some wind, some cloudy skies. Needed it because it's been boiling terrace, yeah. You know, it's hot terrace. Can you please turn the AC on? That's what they say at the raves, but that's what I've been saying in my yard. It is hot terrace. But yes, there has been news. Just bear with us, people. We're gonna get around to that news. But let me big up to the people that were here from nice and early when we were supposed to start. Elijah dropping the eyes because his arch nemesis of YouTube, and I say that very lightly. Let me just say this is very lightly. His arch nemesis of YouTube, Henry. Obviously, he's my boy. He's a delinquent too, but and he's a delinquent. He's my boy. He's a delinquent. So that's my guy in it. But it's also his slightly his arch nemesis. Chelsea about to hijack Kudus. We're gonna get into that. Because that's potentially what a guan. But we're gonna have to, yeah. Matt's look at the Arsenal fans. They're coming to drop in with their little bad energy, forgetting that if Chelsea do get Kudus, you're funding that deal. You will be potentially funding that deal, Matt. I'm seeing that interest in Madueke heating up for real. But hey, big up for you, innit? Big up for you. Big up to Daniel every single time. Mods in the building. I don't think we're getting Kudus. I'm gonna be real. We were just slapped with a hefty fine. I saw that fine. I did see that fine. UEFA slapped you with a 20, I think it's like a 20 million fine or 30 million fine. But then at the same time, you guys have to by 2027. Oh my god, my phone's going mad. 2 seconds, people. Like, what is going on? Sorry about that, people. Sorry about it. It's like fucking 20 phone calls in a moment. But yeah. So back to the Chelsea stuff. Chelsea have to record a certain amount of profits, or they're not. Sorry, let me correct myself. They're not allowed to record a certain amount of loss by the next financial year, 2026. And currently, Chelsea are in a loss over the last 2 years. So they need to put themselves into the plus somehow. And the way they've got to do that is by funding these sales, getting rid of some homegrown players that are going to be pure profit. And I don't know which players they're going to be. Maybe a Colwill might be sold. Maybe a player of that type of ilk. But at the same time, Chelsea's a lot of moving parts. We already know you can expect a lot of outgoings, but at the same time, a lot of incomings. And they're always involved in every deal. Always involved in every deal. So no doubt about it. I'm going to keep my eye on them in this Kudus race. But what fine? Yeah, look at it was Chelsea, Barcelona, Aston Villa, and Roma. Yeah, quite a few teams. Big up to Udang, as he says there. Like and subscribe. I haven't even said it yet today, but make sure you're smashing the like button if you're on this video. Don't take a second. It don't cost a thing. And make sure you subscribe. We're on the road to 5K. Real close to 2.7. We're like 10 away. So share this. Tell a friend, tell their mum, tell their dad. You should all be subscribed. But big up to Neil. Yeah, you're technically a fraud. Technically, I am a fraud because I'm not that great with technical stuff. Not gonna lie, it took me a while to figure it out. I was in the background, me and Harry all chatting. I'm trying to pattern it all up, and it's just not patterning, bro. I was gonna cancel and just be like, "Yo, no streams going ahead," but I was like, "We're gonna go hard. We gotta find a way to get the stream done." Big up, Durag Diaries. Big up to Hyper every single time. We got another member in the building. Big up to Bango. Fresh out from SA says I'm looking. Hey, fresh trim. The fresh trim, yeah, man. Had to clean up. I can't lie though. Can't lie. If Turkey is trying to sponsor me, huh? I'll take that deal because it's like something's eating in the corners. I don't even want to do it too much, but I'm gonna. Yo, like it's there, but it's there just about. It's there about just the like. Yo, it's going soon. It's going soon. Yeah, by 30, it will be done. So if Turkey want to sponsor Durag Diaries, come my way. I need a fresh hairline. Fuck it. Might get the Conor Benting. Do my beard as well. Do my beard as well, man. Kudus to Spurs. Maybe so. Mahaba. Rest in peace, Diego. Yes, of course. That's the one thing. I should have said this already. That's how I should have started my stream. So, first of all, do want to send my condolences out to Diogo Jota. Diogo Jota and Andre Jota. Very, very unfortunate. And that's why I did it. We was gonna go. Me and E were gonna go live on Thursday, but I thought it's probably best not to because it was a very unfortunate situation. I did obviously speak about this in Soccer PM. Went into a lot more detail regarding it. So if you do want to actually watch that, go check Soccer PM out. A podcast with Dean D. Hooks and myself, where we talk all things football. Chelsea have too many players, though. Chelsea do have too many players. There's no doubt about that. Big up to my bro Cobby, as he says there, no doubt. You know what? Let's get into some of the news. Yeah, because There has been things dropping. There has been things dropping, but arch nemesis Henry doesn't know who I am. You know, yeah, that's probably right. I'm not. He definitely knows your channel. He's probably seen the video, innit? But there's no beef. There is generally no beef, people. There's no beef. Let me quickly scroll down. I'm seeing there's a few more people in here. Big up to David. Come on, my bro. Big up to Mustafa. You know where is Will Kane turn up against PSG? PSG might win this competition. Maybe they might do what, 5th trophy of this year or something like that, bro. The guy mad. The guy mad. Big up to Donna's in the building. Another member. Mr. Jords, can you if he has a number? Oh. All right, mods. You see, some people are saying big up Donna. Don't be doing stuff like that, Donna. On the realist of things, that's not something to be joking around with and doing. Like, I didn't even realize what the thing you were saying until I read it out, and I was like, bro, I would time you because I just bigged you up for being a member. I don't want to time you out, but please don't even talk on that situation as lightly as you did. Let's not make jokes of all that, innit? He's been certain players been allegedly charged for doing allegedly certain things, and I'd rather stay away from that conversation right now because we need to see what happens, you know. So Donna, let's just move away from there before you do get kicked out. I don't even want to ban you today. I don't even want to do timeouts. So I'm good energy, good vibes. But please, let's not do that. Let's just not do that. But let's get Francesco Cohen, maybe half a price. Yeah, good player. He's a good player, tricky little winger. Andre Silva, we got a few. Jords doing his best hooks impression. Sorry, I forgot to big up. There was one chat I did miss. I forgot to big him up. Man, like Sava's in the building. You know it's bad when Sunderland are buying better players than us. Do you know what's mad, yeah? I feel like we always see this happen, Sam. You start seeing the new teams come in the Premier League, and they're like targeting some good players, and you're like, raw. So we're looking at like some of these certain mid-level players from these other leagues, but these men are looking at the stars, and they're gonna bring them in and make them their first choice and stuff. Like, yeah, it's all mad. That's a good one. Sule, we did speak about him in the last transfer news show. We spoke about Sule and Kenan Yildiz from Juventus. Is a great crop of young players always coming through. There's always a great crop of young players coming through Juventus. So there's no doubt about that regarding those two. Obviously, Sule is now at Roma, but you get what I mean. That's where he come from. Another quality player. Look, Talby. We got loads. But look, let me share my screen so we can actually see what some of the news that was released today. Because there seems to be... Oh, did I just close that? Well, this is what we saw first. You have to bear with me. I can't lie. There's been all these changes in StreamYard in the background. Everything looked different. So again, I'm doing up uncle settings, innit? You guys should know by now. I'm an uncle. So I'm pre-ing it. I'm like, yo, what's going on? It's taking me a bit longer than usual. Oh my God. Yes, this is all going mad. It's all going mad. I don't even know what it's doing. All right. This. Yeah. All right. I think we're there. I think we might be there. Okay. Let's just set the right background. Let's get to the right settings. You know what I mean? Let's get a bit comfy. Yeah, we're back. Now we're feeling a bit fresh. We're back. So this was off the back of the game last night. Enzo Maresca was asked some questions. And as part of that, as you can see here, Enzo on Mohammed Kudus. Mohammed is a West Ham player. He is not our player, so I can't say nothing. Only thing I can say is I know Kudus since Ajax. The dream is dead. And now that little bit at the end was added by this page, the aggregator page, because obviously Spurs fans, as they do, they start panicking. Oh, Chelsea are involved in the deal. We can't get him now. Oh, the Spurs fans just start panicking. Now, As my boy Sava did say the other day, wake up, Spurs fans, calm down. We're just interested. And off the back of that interest, just being interested, you'll see here. Oh, wait, no, it's in. Give me a second. I just closed the tab, but I had the tab up. That had the Ornstein report. So we can go here. We'll find it. We'll find it. But Ornstein did release a report to pretty much confirm what Sava said the other day and myself regarding just not getting too happy about a deal too early. Because look, this was David Ornstein on Kudus. Let me zoom it in so people can read as well. They have a reported interest in him. We don't know of it being more than him being one of the options they are considering. We've reported that they inquired about Antoine Semenyo at Bournemouth, having previously liked Brian Mbeumo, and Semenyo has signed a new contract. So yeah, Kudus is in the orbit of clubs like Tottenham. West Ham might need to sell a player, and he's their most obvious asset. I think Tottenham would carry appeal to someone like him, Champions League football and staying in London. But there will be other options as well, and I don't think this one is close to a conclusion as of yet. So slow down, Spurs fans. That's exactly what David Ornstein is saying here. Don't get too happy. He's using some of them buzzwords that basically mean something but mean nothing. As Elijah has pointed out, orbit. Yeah. He's in the orbit of clubs like Spurs, which I get what he means, you know. He's in the realm. He's going to be available for clubs that are in the Champions League, you know, clubs that are in the top 6 of the big 6 of the Premier League and so on. But still, I mean, what he's trying to say is that Arsenal probably inquired, Chelsea have probably inquired, all these teams have inquired, but nobody's made an actual move like Tottenham have. But this is what also was reported by The Guardian. So as I said, a lot of news has come out regarding this deal because Tottenham's initial proposal for Kudus was £50 million plus 5 million in add-ons to be paid over 5 years. West Ham were unimpressed. Chelsea, Man United, and Newcastle remain interested in Kudus. I did hear that apparently there has been announced that there is a Spurs tax on this deal. So with that Spurs tax being in place, it probably means that a team like Man United and Newcastle could have got this deal done for around that price, probably £55 million with better, you know, payment plans, better installments. But for Tottenham, it looks like we are going to have to pay a little bit more of a premium to get this deal done. Now, I'm fine with paying a 65 million for Kudus, a 70 million, throw whatever you need to get the player done. As I've said, I'm not too attached to the prices. I don't care if man's going to cost 65, 70. It doesn't come out my pocket. It doesn't. And quite frankly, the last time I was at the stadium, I see it as an investment. I bought this shirt. When I was at one of the games in the Europa League last season, I bought this shirt at halftime. We didn't even win the game, but I invested in the club. So I want my investment to pay off. Yeah? Go get me Kudus. Go pay the extra money. Go get the job done. Show him why he should be at Tottenham. This guy don't want to go to Chelsea. You think he wants to go be another player at Chelsea? He wants to come Tottenham. You just need to offer him the money that he wants, pay the club what they want, and get the deal done. Because as people have said, Chelsea are lurking. They're lurking. When Chelsea start lurking around the deal, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I've had PTSD before. I've been there before. I was about to see Jogger Benito at my club. You guys know what I like to see Jogger Benito. Yeah? Boo, chat, football. That's what I thought I was going to see. But they took Willian away. He was booked in for a medical. But they took him away. I can't have this happening again. Not again. Not with Kudus. So if we're going to get the deal done, get it done properly, Spurs. Stop playing around. I love that little feature. I love that little feature. Let me get a water though. Give me 2 seconds, people. What? Oi. But back to it now. I need that pool chat. I'm out of team, man. And that's what Kudus brings. That's what Kudus brings to Tottenham this year. Some of that pool chat. Some of that baller energy. Some of that, dribbling skill. We know how good he is at taking on his man. Dribbler, running. We haven't had an actual dribbler, someone who glides past players on the wing for a long time. An out-and-out winger. Yes, Sonny's been good. But in between the last 10 years, since we had Aaron Lennon and Gareth Bale running down our wings, I haven't seen a proper winger at my club. I haven't. I've been seeing bare Pashan merchants, bare fake man like Townsend and that. Guys that are wannabes. Jords and Kudu. I'm seeing, Kudus. Kudu. We almost had it. We had him before. We had a player like him before. It just wasn't there. Clinton NG. Nasir Chadley was probably one of the better ones. And he wasn't even a proper winger. Lamella, the Pashan merchant himself. Richarlison. There's been no pool chat, man. Like, it's been a while. It's really been a while, man. But big up to my guy, G. Big up to my guy, G Simpson. Yeah. Hope everything's going well. I hope you're going well. Let us know where you are. Floating in the ocean right now. Living life on a cruise. We already know where it is. Carl Walker joins Burnley because he is a good mate with Scott Parker. Do you know what, yeah? I rate that. I rate what Carl Walker's doing. There's not too many players at the top of the level that would leave Manchester City. He could have went to AC Milan like he was just that. Could have went Juventus. He could have went in. I could have went PSG. Could have went to one of the biggest clubs in world football because this is Kyle Walker. Let's have it right. He's been one of the top right backs in the world for a long time, 10 years or so now. But he decided to go thug it out. Premier League relegation battle settings with his boy, the boys that he made friends with. Tottenham. Remember, it was Tottenham where they become boys. Everything starts at my club. So Scotty Parker and him are going to go on a journey. And I actually hope Burnley stay up. I actually want Burnley to do good next season. I like Scott Parker. Again, another link. He's the last player we bought from West Ham. And if people don't know, maybe if you're too young, when we did bring in Scotty Parker, he was our player of the season instantly. I remember watching this guy put on the captain armband. He's like, yo, yeah, that's when you know what you needed in the midfield back in the day. A guy that was just good at everything. Everything. Scotty Parker was cold. So, yeah, man, I can't lie. I'm with specs on this one. Burnley, I'm supporting them next year. Marcus Edwards as well. Marcus Edwards as well. I want to see them flying. Yeah. But let's see. Let me catch up with the chat. Yes to Diblin, no to Kudus. Sounds like you like kids. Jords, do you go to Spurs games? Yes, I do, Harvey. I do go to Spurs games. I don't go everywhere. As people know, you would have seen the journey. If you've been here, if you haven't, if you're new, cool. But we started to do more watch-alongs. That was what the people wanted to see. More watch-alongs. So I wasn't able to get to as many games towards the end of the season because we're getting to be doing more watch-alongs. But I definitely go to games every year, man. No doubt about that. After that extra 20 mil last night, I'm feeling greedy. Run me, Kudus. Yuck. Man said, I'm feeling greedy. How greedy? Man was Kudus. Not just Kudus. Man was buying all gittins. Man, they were trying to tell me they paid 42.5 million for them. It was 48.5 for a guy that scored 8 goals last season. Yuck. How generous. How generous of you, man. Man, we're just throwing £50 million at all these players. João Pedro didn't even score 10 goals last season. Yuck. 55 million. How generous. Hey, big up to Chelsea, bro. You might have just running everyone bread. So, yeah, you might be feeling nice, but trust me, Spurs are in for that deal. Kudus is mine. I got my... That's our ball. You know them ones there? We're wrapping that deal up. Just know what I got. Yeah? But the bubble tax is in. What shirt is that? Come on, man. People should know. Away kit. I think this might have been 95 to 97 or 97 to 98. 97 to 99. You know, they had like 2 years of away kits. Hewlett Packard, one or the other. I've got quite a few of the 90s kits in my locker. I need the yellow one. The yellow one for me might be the I need yellow Gascoigne. That's what I'm going to be getting. I'm going to change this out so we have more football shirts across the wall as well. I can't even lie. But definitely going to be getting that yellow Gascoigne top sometime soon. Come on, man. We were just saying, come on, my bro. You already know what it is. But Turkey, don't forget you can hit me up. You see? You take the hint? you take the hint? Yeah. All right, hit me up. But he will never pick Spurs over Chelsea. No one will. We'll see. We will see. Your investment went into a kettle in a room 24/7. Room 247 of a Holiday Inn. Oh, oh shit! I just did. Yeah, the Spurs hotel is dark. What you saying? My investment went into the kettle. It's dark. It's dark. Maybe some bed sheets. Well, I can't even get like a 3-night stay or something. Like, defo not with Daniel Levy. But Jogo Bonito. Yeah, Jogo Bonito. Yeah. Has stayed in Brazil by the looks of the Club World Cup. Nah, man. Do you know what it is? They're breeding a different type of player through at the moment. There's no doubt about that. They're bringing a different type of player through. Brazil's bringing them rough and tough ballers. But I can't complain. I ain't complaining about it. I think they're all right. They're all right, man. But this is the last straw. We lost Eze. And if Kudus don't get signed, it's going to be chaos. It's going to be Spurs world and Spurs fans on Twitter are going to have an uproar. They're going to lose their minds. Kudus, no. Eze, no. Bromo, no. We got no one. We can't sign no one. Like, there's plenty of players out there. If we don't get Kudus, maybe we turn to Xavi Simons. Like, again, there's other players out there. You just gotta have the knowledge to know that you can move on from a player. I know that there's another one. Now, there might not be a plan A, a plan B. I'm sorry, it might not be option A, option B, but that's fine. That's why you have option C, D, E, and F, and make sure that the quality level is very, very similar. Well, Jords, why are you so loud, man? Sam, you should know this by now. Like, everyone that comes into my streams, they will comment straight away. George is screaming again. That's just what I do! Yeah, so if you got headphones in, sorry. I'm apologize. But that's just what I do. That's just what I do. I'm very loud. My neighbors must hate me. My neighbors must hate me. But big up to them, man. And big up to you guys, because you're going to bear it. All you have to do is just turn it down on your device. It's really not, and the thing is, I don't even know if my mic level's loud. I can't hear myself. So, why you blaming me? Blame yourself. I'm playing, but love the retro Spurs jersey. Big up to 7, man. We're staying locked in with the retro. Again, we're staying locked in with the retro jerseys. If anyone else knows what this is or anyone else got one, do you know Luke? Luke's the real. He's got bare retro jerseys. I don't know if you guys have seen the boot collection that Luke has. He's a real one. But nah, he wants to go to the reigning, defending, undisputed future. Man said, the reigning, defending, undisputed future world champions. Oh, the world. Shit, Chelsea. Yeah, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Not a row. You ain't got no bark in that bite. What are we doing here? There's no bark in that bite, man. Or no bite in that bark. Sorry, wrong way round. There's no bite in that bark. You guys ain't on nothing. Get to the final and see who you're on against a PSG or a Bayern Munich. I said allow Townsend. Nah, man, I can't lie. Townsend was not a good winger. Nah, you're getting mad. I knew Elijah's talent ID was a suspect. Yeah, we've been clocking that from the other day. Now I really started. Townsend is better than Kudus. You're getting mad. You're getting mad. Big career for Walker, though, no doubt. Big career for Walker. Would you take him? No, if you're talking about Kyle Walker, no. I'm not doing Kyle Walker business. Kudus isn't an out-and-out winger. He's more of a hybrid of a 10 and a winger, in my opinion. Yeah, he is, because he could play in the 10, but I'd say he's more of a winger, as in his abilities match that of a proper touchline winger. Well, no idea. I can't lie. Just watched him play and thought he was cold. Big up to PFC TV every time. You know what it is. Hey, big up to my guy, Bosmania, in the building. Dibbling is around my age. Not my fault you're pushing 40. Hey, Elijah, why you revealing my real age, bro? Why are you revealing my real age? We've been telling everyone that I'm like in my 20s, and now you're trying to let them know that I'm nearly 40, bro. What's going on? What's going on? There's just been I've just had some new report just come out on this page. I've just had something new pop up. Let's see what ex-West Ham employee. Breaking news. The reigning, defending. Now, breaking news. West Ham United are confident that Chelsea will submit a better offer for Kudus than Tottenham's current bid. It is also hoped that other clubs will join the competition as well. So as you guys can see here, I'm going to have to start shaking. I'm going to start worrying. I can't lie, because it's dark times. Dark. Shit. See. Kudus was shit anyway. Kudus. I didn't want Kudus. I told you guys that I didn't want Kudus from very long ago. I remember I said that. I told you guys I didn't want this guy. I didn't want this guy, man. Shit. I didn't want Kudus anyway. Shit. Hijacking coming. Now I'm playing around, but you know, I'm still very cool about this. I'm still very calm, because they're talking about Tottenham's current bid. They can offer better than our current bid, because our next bid is probably going to be more. So we're probably going to bid in the range that they want and that they need. Then we can see forward from there. But I think I know what West Ham are doing here. West Ham are playing a very smart game. They're going to keep rejecting bids till they get a team that bid two of the same price, which will probably be 65 to 70 million. And then they accept that bid, hoping that someone else bids a little bit more. But then they're all going to be going in for the player, and then it's going to be down to whoever he chooses. So I'm not going to lie. It's not good news. It's most definitely not good news to hear. But at the same time, I'm still very cool about the situation, because if Spurs go in quick and make the bid and the offer that they need, we'll get the deal wrapped up. They'll get the deal wrapped up. So we'll see. Wait, Jords, why are you using a G18 for Pedro but not Kudus? You know I was joking around, man. You know I was joking around. Jords 97, 98. Yeah. See, Daniel knows. First ever jersey I ever got when I was 4. The yellow Holston Pills one. Yes, man, that's a real one. Trust me. Big up to Ace. large up. Spurs are the last option if you decide to join them. If you think so, think so, big up to Duke in the building. Man said clear is overused. Who's clear? I'm so confused. Yeah. I'm asleep like a baby when Kudus goes Chelsea. That's some of you, man. That's some of you. I'm not gonna be dabs. I'm not gonna be going mad. Like, it's just gonna be moving. Like I said, there's plenty of players out there. This is the one thing that people probably don't get and that they need to probably do more like often is you do know, do your research. You can find a player like Kudus, not at the same level, maybe not as proven, but Igor Pashao is there. Yeah, there's other players out there. We can move on and is Xavi Simons, Igor Pashao, Puchacha is still available. Just have that belief that Spurs have seen them like we have seen them. Maybe we need to start, you know what, Mr. Udang, we're going to send your CV over to Spurs official. We're going to get you a job. The delinquents are we're going to band together, get Mr. Udang a job because his scouting is quite good. We're going to send him over there. We're going to help you out, bro. We're going to help you out. We're all going to work together to get someone, a delinquent in the building. So we need a new Spurs mole because I can't lie. Drula's information has been a bit spooky recently. And I love Drula. Big up to Drula every time, you know. Big up to my delinquents. But the information been a bit spooky. Yeah? It's looking like our Flashboy settings. It's looking like Flashboy. I don't know if Flashboy is here. If you are, show your face. Because we need some exclusives. Right now, I need something. That's actually a good Bruce, my favorite impression. Hey, come on, man. I used to bang out UFC. I've watched UFC so much, so it's probably why. Townsend Baller, yeah, it's mad. All that chat and no StreamYard link. Hashtag noticing. It's mad. Do you know what? Yeah. I'll send you a link right now, I'll send you a link right now. All you had to do was ask. All you had to do was message me. It's mad. Because I'm gonna send the link right. No, how about that? And he can't hide. 2 secs though, as I need to. Let me come off share screen. Let me go back to normal screen. That's what. There we go. Let me send E the link. So he's got no excuse. Let's see if this guy shows his face. Let's see if he shows his face. Yeah. Let's see if he really shows his face and he stops hiding. There we go. Where was I at? Big up to Manage. Bit late today, but he's in the building regardless. Big up Jords, big up the chat. Smash that like button, people. Right now, we are on. Let me see what the likes are on. What are the likes on? $35 likes. It's all right. We could definitely get that up to 50 though. Yeah, let's push it up a little piece. Just a little piece. Let's push it up. Shit, I forgot the Zoom was a bit mad. But nah, bro, you need to announce it like Paul Heyman. Brock Lesnar. He does some mad voice. I can't even. You see that's already hurting the vocal cords. Yeah, you need the vocal cords to stay sweet. Big up to Ryan Arsenal. He says, big up everyone, get their likes up, chat, subscribe, and have a nice day. Big up to you, Ryan, man. See, even the Arsenal fans are coming in to show some love. Make sure you have a nice day, Ryan, for real. Big up to Destiny, my guy. Let's go. Big up Jords on the chat. Smash the likes, as he says over there. If anyone thinks we'll ever get a player over Chelsea, who gives? We will see. I'm just saying. A certain guy is here, but I don't see no camera, so I can't verify whether it's AI or whether it's E. But it seems like he may be hiding. Let's see if we can verify the voice.
I'm not turning my camera on because the title of the stream.
Oh shit! Oh shit! He's got a message for his arch nemesis.
You know, as nemesis, I don't play second fiddle to nobody.
I ain't involved. What are you saying though? What's he saying, man? He's coming to answer for his Kudus crimes.
Ain't no crimes in it. I'm just not a fan of dick riding, innit? You know what I'm saying? That's just not me.
So what are you a fan of? Because I've seen you dick riding guys like Townsend. I don't know. Maybe you're just a fan of big foreheads. I don't know. But
I said I was biased in the chat. But I noticed how you didn't read that comment out. But I know Agenda's got a run in it. So I hear it though. I hear it.
No. But what are you saying? What's your point with Kudus? Because I can't lie, we didn't get into this enough the other day. You was when I jumped on Jay's stream.
Yeah.
And same way. I'm trying to understand what you don't like about this player. What do you see in Kudus that makes you think I don't want him at my club? Like, what is it? I'm so confused.
It's fine. You know, ain't no wrong with him. It's just a price.
So you're worried about it's not your money, bro.
It's not our money, sure, but we all have a problem with ownership for not spending enough and not spending it properly. Like at the end of the day, Kudus will be our best, like our most expensive transfer for the next 2-3 years. And it's like, bro, he's like a 6 out of 10 player, bro. Like we're gonna spend 65 M's on a player who's we already complain about consistency. That was one of the biggest problems or the biggest criticisms to some of the players that were already in the squad. You want to splash 65 M's on Kudus when there are players just as good as him around Europe or even in the Premier League that's worth less money.
Name them. That's always because I always hear things like that. I need to hear the names.
Sancho.
Sancho's better than him.
Yep.
With what? By what metric? What is Sancho better than him at? And what do you think? What makes you think Sancho would give you a better performance at Tottenham? Because let's have it right. Sancho last season didn't pull up any trees at Chelsea. He was an option off the left-hand side, but it wasn't the first go-to option. Chelsea.
Well, if we're going on form, I see you changed the title. Let me turn my camera on.
Yeah.
If we're going on
wait. No, forget form. No. Let's forget form. Yeah, and I'm not even going to do the numbers.
You just brought up form.
No. Wait, I'm doing forget the GA. Forget the GA. I'm not even going to consider GA. Look at what Sancho gives you. They didn't sign him for 25 mil, but they went and signed 2 players on the left-hand side for 50 mil instead of getting Sancho for 25. And don't tell me you've seen like Bino Gittins and be like, you probably have not watched so much of him. So again, you're going to say he's not worth that money. Cool. But João Pedro, we spoke about it before. You didn't think he was worth that money, right?
It's slightly overinflated, but I see why.
That's the thing. It feels like every deal's overinflated right now. That's the point.
But Kudus is like 20 million overinflated. That's the problem, fam. He's like 20-25 million overinflated just because he's at West Ham. Right, we're not signing.
Alanga? What do you think of Alanga's price then? Like, because
Alanga's price is brazy.
And that's not even English tax. He ain't English.
Premier League. I'm saying it's the Prem tax. There's a Prem tax and an English tax.
And that's the point, though. So what do we do about that? Do we buy into that
outside the Premier League?
Okay, and I can't say that's a bad idea because I agree, but the data shows that signing team from the league that you're in, all the best teams. So I was doing the show with Terry the other day, and Terry broke it down how PSG, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Man City, Liverpool, all the teams that are the best in their league, in the top leagues in the world. They're the best in their league because the players they sign, at least over 50% of the players they've signed over like a long period are from their own league. They sign players from other teams in their league because it's easier for them to adapt rather than signing abroad and then having those adapt. Real Madrid, a lot of players from La Liga.
I don't think their best players came from La Liga.
Nah, their best players, man, but they sign a lot of players through the La Liga. Just that's how a lot of over like a long period of time, you'll notice We know when they bring in the Iscos, they bring in all these like players that are coming up through the La Liga from one team. They'll just pick them up slowly. Just like Real Madrid tried to get Nico Williams. Barcelona. They've obviously got their registration issues. So Barcelona is just they're mad right now. Like,
I get that, but Kudus is coming in will be our best attacker. And like Liverpool's best attackers weren't signed from the Premier League. Like Real Madrid's attackers weren't signed from the Premier League. You know what I'm saying? They weren't. Like the best players of these teams weren't, maybe apart from Bayern, because they just snipe all the German talent. But even so, like Elise and Kane are not from the Bundesliga.
That's two players. Like, the rest of their team is pretty much from the Bundesliga.
But I'm saying, yeah, Bayern technically they snipe all of Dortmund's players anyway. So Bayern's not the greatest example.
Even Liverpool, City, even look at City. Yeah, I know as of recent, it's not been the case because they've got Haaland and some of these other players. But before that, when they brought Kyle Walker from us, they brought Grealish from they brought Fabian Delve. They're buying consistently buying from the Premier League, buying proven players.
2 out of those 3 players, like Delph.
Bro, I could name way more. James Milner. You could name
Milner
players. They just signed Calvin. I'm not talking about, bro. They just sign You sign players,
but they're not. My point is that they're not as impactful as you're making them seem to deem us to spend 65
but you're talking
million
about,
on Kudus.
Superstars. But then if he's going to send 60-70 million pounds,
but Kudus is going to be our superstar attacker, though.
And you don't think he's a superstar player?
No.
So you don't think the moments and the things that he's done for West Ham and the big games, even last season against Liverpool, he didn't score, didn't get an assist, but he's the best player on the pitch by far.
We're paying 65 mil for moments?
Moments is what gets you trophies, bro. Brennan Johnson was a moments player and I was best player last season.
And we ridiculously overpaid for Brennan. So what was Brennan Johnson worth? Well, he was worth 50 million.
Well, he definitely was because he scored a final goal, something that Henry and Haaland never have done.
See, that's insanity to me, bro. Saying 50 million.
Bro, what's your best moment?
What's
the best moment in your life as a Tottenham fan?
The best or the happiest moment? There's 2 separate things.
No, the best moment is the happiest moment.
If we're going off that, then
no, you're trying to. No. The best moment is the happiest.
I was happier with Lucas Moura than I was with Brennan Johnson. I'm sorry.
No, you're lying. So you was happier with just being in a final than winning a trophy.
I was happier in our route to getting to the final.
No, but the actual moment of winning the trophy, was happy.
Yeah, winning the trophy, obviously, yeah, but it doesn't justify paying 50 million for Brennan Johnson. No, it doesn't. Big up Mundo, fam. My guy, bro. Mundo's my broski.
Yeah.
But no, it doesn't justify 50 million just because he scored a goal in the Europa League final.
No, but I think he's justified his money. Like when you actually I was getting mad on Saeed's stream like the other day, and when you actually look into the numbers, bro, Brennan Johnson outscored majority of Premier League wingers.
Okay, like so why are we looking at Kudus then? If
the season before that, he again assists and GA, like he got really good numbers. So as much as me and you don't like watching Brennan Johnson, when you look at the underlying metrics, his impact into the game has been significant enough to score important goals that have won us games, lead into a trophy, but also just score important goals in general. He's been a consistent goal scorer at that point. And getting 10 plus goals a season, that's what we would want from a player that we brought.
All right. Okay, I'm cool with that. I don't disagree.
Like, we're getting 10 plus goals a season. We're like, cool, that's fine. We can't go mad at a winger getting 10 plus goals, right?
So why do we want Kudus then?
Because we need a player that can have more impact in the all-round game. But Brennan Johnson will still be an option. Just like Chelsea.
But wouldn't we be stifling him then?
But just like Chelsea have signed 2 wingers, but are looking to sign Kudus and looking to sign another one.
But the problem is we're not Chelsea who's going to spend the money. That's the problem. That's why I don't want Kudus for this money. We're not going to spend like Chelsea. They're going to go out and sign 2 wingers. We signed Tell. Kudus will be our best attacker for the next 2-3 years. You're all right with that?
Well,
that's what's supposed to propel us?
I feel like
he's going to be our best attacker for the next 2-3 years.
But Kudus is in that stage of his career where he's ready to propel. That's my point. He's 24 years old. He should have
propelled already if we're paying 65
he's only 24. He's only 24, bro. We're paying for
potential. We're spending 65 million on potential.
And that's what clubs do nowadays, bro. That's just football.
No.
That is football. Bro.
No, bruv. No.
You know that's football, bro. You can't sit here and deny
what team we're aspiring to will pay 65 million for the potential?
What do you mean? Did you not, bro? Have you again? Bino Gittins is 48.5 million pounds. 55.
That's 17 million more than Kudus.
No. That's potential. When we signed Richarlison for 60 million, do you not think we signed on potential too?
And that's a Spurs player. What team do we aspire to will spend 65 million on the potential of a player?
Bro, Arsenal are signing 100 million pound Rice. You think there wasn't potential in that price?
It's not potential, but Rice established himself. Rice has already established himself.
Kudus is established as a 50 million pound player, easily a 50 million pound player.
No, he has not.
You're paying a little 10. How are you telling me he's not a 50 million pound player? What do you 50
million, bro? It's just prem tax. He's not 50 million. He's a 40 million player max.
Who's a 50 million pound player in your eyes?
Cherky.
But Cherky didn't go for 50 million pounds. And Cherky
because he's not in the Prem. Exactly. He's not in the Prem. That's why.
I rate Cherky highly, but you're telling me that he's more proven or done more. Kudus has been doing what Cherky's been doing for a couple of years now as well.
But because he's in the Prem and he plays for West Ham, he's worth that much more.
Ajax, and then he done it in the Europa League, and then he got spotted by West Ham, and then came to West Ham and again, done it in the Europa League run. Got them pretty far. Was unfortunate not to win it, but he was doing madnesses that first year.
You acting like Kudus was carrying them, man. Like he's one.
No, did you not see, bro? I wish I could just go and get we could watch a compilation right now, so I can show you the goals.
I said a compilation, bro.
No, a compilation.
I know you like moments. I know you're willing to splash 70 million on moments, but don't tell me about a compilation, bro.
I'm watching goals where he's putting them on his back like a water boy.
Bro, we can make Andros Townsend look like a fucking baller out of compilations, bro. I'm not hearing it, bro.
No, I'm saying a compilation so you can see some of the goals because he's dribbling past 7 man, but you're telling me he's not putting them on his back. What do you mean, bro?
So what, bro?
If he's dribbling past 7 man, he's scoring overhead kicks against Manchester.
Is Kudus the finished article right now? Yes or no?
He's more of a finished article than you said. Cherky.
That's not the question. That's not the question I asked. Is he the finished article?
Cherky's price was 30 mil because Leon got relegated. He would have been a 100 million pound player if they were buying him.
No, he wouldn't. He's not tripling the price because they're in League. No,
on potential.
They're not tripling the price because he's in League.
He went because he was in relegation clause, bro.
Is Kudus the
they had a relegation clause?
Is he the finished article?
He will be in the next couple of years.
So he's not the finished article, and we're paying 65 million for him.
You do not buy finished articles this day and age. Name me a team that's bought a finished article. Who's bought a finished article?
You're telling me City haven't bought finished articles?
Who?
Did you play they bought Haaland, not finished article?
I don't know. Young. They bought potential.
So what if he's young?
He was 21 years of age when they bought him. It was potential.
But you know what you're getting with Haaland. It's not potential. We know what Haaland is.
You know what you're getting with Kudus. A guy that's going to run at his man, beat his man consistently. He's going to create down the right-hand side.
But you said he's not the finished article, though. That's what you said. So don't say he's the finished article now.
I know that he can take step, just like Haaland's not the finished article because he can take step forwards in his game. He's not. Like, there's so many parts about Haaland's game that he needs to improve. So many parts that he hasn't been improving over the last couple of years at City.
He doesn't have to improve if he's at Man City, though. He doesn't have to.
You do.
Or else he would have improved them already.
Come on, bro.
No, he would have improved them already.
He has, though, but naturally, he's a goal scorer. He's good at certain things. If you excel, it's just like Kudus excels at dribbling, he won't get better at dribbling because he's already the best dribbler in the Premier League. You do know that, and that's statistically correct. That's not my opinion. That's stats. He's statistically the best dribbler in the league. So when you say is his dribbling finished article, yeah, is Haaland's goal scoring finished article, you could say yeah, but he has other parts about his game that he needs to improve.
Yeah, Odegaard was the best dribbler 2 years ago. So
he wasn't. He had good numbers. He wasn't the best.
He had the most take-ons.
He had like 2.3 take-ons per game, which was statistically up there with like Pedro Neto, Jan Kuba Minte, and some other players. But Kudus,
he was top 5. Yeah. Sure.
Regardless, the point is though Odegaard isn't Kudus. They're very different. Odegaard played for
the problem is you want to spend 65 mil on potential players who are like, bro, like teams don't do that, bro. Like they already have a ready-made spot for where they're gonna be, how they're gonna perform, and plus the Prem tax as well and the West Ham tax. He's 25 million overpriced, bro. And for a team like Tottenham who doesn't spend money notoriously, he's gonna be our most expensive player for the next 2 to 3 years minimum, because unless you think we're getting Champions League next season, we're not splashing another 60 million like that. At least I don't think so, unless we end up selling players, which I don't know how we're going to sell players if we're not getting to the Champions League spot, because we're already going to get dumped out probably in the group stages, but that's just a prediction. So the problem is in this club, we overpay for mid talent, bro. And whether you want to say, oh, Kudus isn't mid, I don't really care. we overpay for players that
Not me,
aren't good
bro.
enough,
That's
that don't
true.
match up to the price tag. It doesn't matter about their age. So when people telling me about, oh, this player, I don't care about age. We overpay for players who aren't good enough. And we are already a club that has issues with spending money in the first place, which is why I'm not going to be happy if we sign Kudus for 65 million. Because after that, when we sign Kudus, who are we going to get after that? We already signed Tel and we've signed Kudus, so we're not getting no more attackers. So we can kiss all the attackers goodbye. So he raises the floor of the team. Sure, but you're going to have to expect him to do that on his own because we're not signing anyone else that's going to be near him in terms of talent, even though he's only like a 6 out of 10, maybe 7 out of 10 max player.
You're going mad. What do you? Whoa! This 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 business is crazy for one.
That's what he is.
He
okay,
really
Jords,
is.
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Where do you think Spurs will fit? Let's say Spurs don't sign Kudus and then Spurs do sign Kudus. Where do you think how much of a difference is there? Where do you think Spurs will finish?
There's a big difference in our team in the way that
so where do you think we finish?
Kudus? You would have heard in my stream before to say that Kudus isn't the be all and end all. I'm not someone that buys into one transfer and is like, if we don't get this one player, we're finished. I don't do that because I'm a guy I like to think that I'm well versed in football enough to know that there's plenty of players out there that you could sign. Again, they're not Kudus, but they will give you, again, statistically, you can look at the data, it will show you they're similar players, maybe just not proven at the Premier League level. Now, with these players, they're going to be a bigger risk than Kudus because you can spend 30, 40 million pounds on them, which is what they're going to cost, which is slightly 20 million pounds less than Kudus, but they're going to take 2 to 3 years to get to the level you need, just like we have with Odobert and Tel. That's the type of player but with Kudus, he's going to come in, give you a floor level, which is already the floor of where he's at is higher than Tel and Odobert by quite a bit. His floor, so his worst performances, and then his highest is going to be so much ahead that he's up there with the best players in the Premier League at that point when he's actually performing at his highest. Now, again, getting him to perform at his highest on a consistent basis is where the issue is with Kudus and has been at West Ham. When he is at his best, he's one of the best wingers in the league. Like, that's not a doubt. There's no doubt about that. It's him being at his best for a consistent time. In his first season, he was at his best for a long time because he wanted to be at West Ham. He believed in the project and he was comfortable there. It was like a new place. Let me light up the Premier League. Let me, again, fitting in. The second season, he didn't want to be at West Ham. That was quite clear. He wanted to move on. He wasn't happy that there was no European football. He wasn't happy with where West Ham was at. So
what happens next year when we're not in Europe? What, he's going to want to leave Spurs?
Bro, I don't think you get that. That's what would happen from a lot of players. I would expect players to do that at my club. I, as a Spurs fan, have the minimum expectation that you should have yourself, that our whole life we've been playing European football. My whole life, Tottenham have been playing.
In Europe without Kudus doesn't propel us to
no,
anything.
I'm not saying he bro, we're 17th, we finished. So if we finish 17th, then it is Kudus needs to propel us into European football. But at the same time, if Kudus' expectation is to play Champions League, help us get back into the Champions League. Now, Thomas Frank in his first season may not do that, but if he gets into Europa League, it's fine. Cool, figure things out. But Kudus will propel us into those top 6 places for me. That's what I think. And when you are
there anyway, though.
Question, the difference would be without Kudus or a player like Kudus, I could see us finishing 8th or 9th. With Kudus, I could see us battling for that top 5, top 6. A lot easier. A lot easier. Big up to Andy Kale, though, who drops a super chat. Big up to Andy Kale. Jords, big up as always. Let's be real. Spurs will not pay top dollar for top player in case they will flop like your mate said. You overpay on a mid player. When you sold Bale, did nothing. Sold Kane, did nothing. And that is my point exactly. Why are we going to go overpay a mid player? Because the mid player is not Kudus. You want to go get a player from Europe who we're going to pay 40 to 45 million pounds for, which I was just talking about.
I don't want that either.
And he's not going to give you the same level as Kudus and take a few more years to get up to it. Sign a mid player like Tel or sign a top player for like Kudus for 20 or 5 million more.
Wasn't a fan of the Tel signing.
That is the very much difference. You can sign you can literally sign a Tel or you can sign a Kudus.
No, why there's only 2 options?
That's the comparison. You get a Tel.
No, that's not the comparison. That's not the comparison I made.
You spent 37 million on a Tel.
George, who's your favorite midfielder at the club? Who's your favorite midfielder at the club?
Kulusevski.
How much did we sign Kulusevski for?
35 million. 40
All right, and then who's your second favorite? And who's your second favorite midfielder? And who's your second favorite?
Bergval, man. Like,
And how much did we sign? How much did we sign him for?
And guess what? Is how many times that
No,
happened?
answer the question,
No, it
Jords.
doesn't
Go
matter.
answer.
How many
No.
times?
No.
How many
Don't go
times
into
you
never a
signed a
foul
player for
mode.
5 million and
Don't
it
go
banged?
into never a foul mode.
No.
How much did we sign
How many
Bergval
times that
for?
happened?
How much did we sign Bergval for?
10, 15 million.
Okay, so two of our best
And
midfielders
guess
at
what?
the
We had
club
to attract
have
him
cost
away from
less than
Barcelona.
Kudus
Guess
combined.
what? And you know what's funny? You know
And
what's
you're
funny?
telling me that we have to
You know
sign
what's funny about
Kudus
it?
for 65 million to raise the floor. I'm not
Did
hearing this
you not
bullshit,
say?
bro.
Did you not
I'm not
say?
hearing this.
Was you not laughing at that guy Rooney rejecting Tottenham the other week? Yeah, we were having a
What,
banter
for
about it.
SSN? Yeah, sure. For SSN, yes.
Yeah. We had a
Yes.
banter about it, right?
Yeah, sure.
You wouldn't have been happy if we signed that Rooney guy, right? For our
Yes, I would.
You wanted to? Have you ever seen him?
Bro, I haven't seen Takai either. I was happy with him
Have
too.
you ever seen him? Oh, you got. Don't do the
Haven't seen
never
him.
fouls.
Haven't
Answer the
seen
question.
Takai.
Don't do
Didn't
never
see
fouls.
Bergval. Didn't see Kinski. Didn't see any of those, man. I was happy with all those signings.
Okay. So you want to consistently sign players at that 10 to 15 million pound level?
I want us to improve our scouting and development and our academy. That's what I want to do.
So because I'm not saying Rooney Bardghji is bad, because I think he's actually a decent player. I watched him I think it was last year when he scored a winning goal against Man United, Copenhagen, when they beat them 4-3. I remember that his moment. Good little player. But my point is, if we keep signing players at that level, we're never going to be able to compete with the likes of our neighbours, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, City, top 5 to top 6. We're not going to be able to compete with those teams. We're not.
I don't think we can't compete with them now, though. Even with signing players,
we can't.
because Kudus won't propel us to that.
But we're aspiring to.
No, but players like Kudus won't. Like, this is, I'm even speaking through Kudus at this point, innit? Because he's literally just the scapegoat for the bigger point I'm trying to make. Signing players on that level for that amount of money won't propel us anywhere. Because like Salankis, Kudus, Richarlison, Brennan Johnson, Ndombele, like these are all man who are costing 50 mil plus and are mid footballers, bro. I don't care about the flair when it comes. If you can't do shit with the flair, then the flair is useless. But that's not even a Kudus argument. That's just in general. But when it comes to players in general, right, when we're signing like 5 out of 10 to like 7 out of 10 players for exorbitant money, whereas other teams are paying the same amount of money or maybe even just a slight bit more for way better players. And when it comes to Levy putting out, remember the statement Levy made a few months ago about how we spent 700 million and all of this shit. We spent a lot of money on transfers and we all lost our shit because we know, cool, it's 700 million, but that's just a broad number. There's context, as in we've wasted a lot of money on players. These are the type of players we're wasting on, which is why I'd rather we improve our scouting and our development and our academy. It is because the reason Kudus is a waste is because we can find players on his level in Europe for less money.
Was you not just saying about the Odegaard? Was you happy with the Odegaard signing? Wait, do you not? Before we go into that, big up to my guy Gambi Beats, another delinquent dropping a super chat here. Big up to Gambi, man, my bro. Mums, I made it. Oh shit.
Salute to Gambi, fam. Salute to everyone sending in donos and becoming members, man. Make sure you become members, broskies.
For real. Make sure you subscribe to E. He's now in the title, so it's not too hard. Just tap that in the title. Sub up to E. Late night streams. If you guys want to be tapped in, you got nothing to do. To be fair, it's a bit of a why to be nothing to do at night watching another man. But I'm just saying, late night streams. You're chilling. You want to have a laugh. You can tune into E. But just make sure you're not in your bed because that's a bit mad. Again, in bed on your phone, watching another man at 12 a.m., 1 a.m. Sounds a bit... I don't know what's going on over in E's channel, to be fair. I don't know what they do at that time. They're watching I tuned in the other day, some tomorrow teaching thing, and I was hearing madnesses, yeah.
That was Jay's channel. That wasn't my channel. That was Jay's channel. All right? That wasn't my channel. I'll say salute to Jay from the cave, bro, but that's not my channel, fam. No cap. No cap.
But no, back to it, yeah. So with the signing of Odegaard, again, that was a data-led signing, a player that we signed off the back of the data in the Premier League. And you know, like, I mean, getting Thomas Frank makes sense. We're doing what Chelsea done with Brighton. They brought in Graham Potter, and they brought in Brighton directors and stuff, and brought in the Brighton model. And we've done the same thing with Brentford. We've brought in all of their coaching staff. We've gone to the data-led model since last year, and it seems to be how Spurs want to approach their signings. You seem quite happy with signing these types of players. So when we sign Tells and Odeberts, you're fine with that because they're going...
Not Tell. Oderbert I wasn't too mad at, but not Tell. Not Tell at all. Because the problem is just overpaying. It's not even the young player. Like I said before, it's just the overpaying of players who don't deserve to be worth that much. Archie Gray is a young player. 40 million is way too much of an overpay, especially considering how much... It's really just because of how we spend as a club or how the board spends. Like, we're not going to be like Chelsea and sign João Pedro and Bino Gittins and all these man. We're not that. We're not even United. They've already basically got Mbuemo locked up and they've signed Cunha. We're not any of these other teams that we're aspiring to. And this is the season out of all seasons where we should have been on that kind of level because we just won a cup. We got rid of the trophy drought argument and we're in the Champions League and we still can't attract players. That just shows me that it's not a thing of like we don't have the money and shit like that. It's just more of a thing of club attraction. That's all it is, bro. So for me personally, I'm okay with doing the Brighton thing, the Bournemouth thing. I'm not going to be mad when we sign players that we haven't really heard about for like 5 to 10 mil. I'm not going to be mad at that. The only problem for me is the academy is shit compared to what it needed to be. And the scouting isn't that good either. Like we hit gold mines with players like Bergvall. We hit the jackpot pretty much.
That's what I mean.
How bad our scouting is. And if we improve our scouting, you know what I'm saying, man? Big up ego in that. But literally, if we improved our scouting, which is what I'm really like, it's the overall thing of what I want to do. If we improve our scouting and we improve our academy, things that would also cost the board less money in general. But if we improve all of that kind of stuff, but see, I didn't say the age though. I said overpaying for talent that ain't that good. Ain't nothing to do with age. That's what I'm saying. Danso I was happy with because he's 20-something mil, but he's an older player. So what?
You know what it is though? I'll be real with you. I used to do what you're doing now, and I can't blame you in it. Like looking into the price ranges. First of all, big up to Fam Zone TV for the raid. Big up to D and Dean raiding up the channel. Them, yeah. If you've come over from there, make sure you smash a like. Yeah, customers need to act correct with the delinquents. Get to know if you want to become a delinquent. Tap the join button. I'll drop the link in the chat sometime. Make sure you're subscribing to E. There's too much of E. The link is in the title of the video. It's Jords XE transfers. He come in, he wanted to replace his arch nemesis. Yeah, he was originally doing something else, but he come in to replace quickly, and things are going in now. Things are going in. But yeah, make sure you smash a like on your way in. So back to it though, because you said again, like the age isn't the problem, but it's this overspending on players that aren't good talents. How do you determine whether a talent is good or not? Because we all know opinions and eyes are all subjective. All subjective. We can say a player shit. Scouts might think a player good. Technically, the scouts have better eyes than us because they're qualified, and we can't deny that. I'm not going to be a fucking dunce and sit here and say I'm better eyes than some scouts, which I think I do, you know, but. That's a question. A question for another day. One thing you can't question is data. Tottenham seem to be going with this data approach. If Toll points out on the data, these players point out on the data. Can you question the amount of money that's being spent because the data is pointing out that this is a player that's good, and Spurs needs to go get him?
Yes, because numbers lie. Numbers don't have a meaning. They're just numbers. It's how the person reading the numbers interprets them is the problem, innit? And I know people be like, oh, why do you care? Because it's not your money. I hear it. But when we're going to be sitting up here in 12 months complaining that Daniel Levy is not spending money, Daniel Levy will come back and point to signings like these and say, look, I spent the money. You man were happy with the player when he came in. They didn't perform. What do you want me to do? This is what Levy's been doing ever since I became a Spurs fan. So I know people saying it's not their money. They don't care about the board. They just want to spend the money. It's cool. It's cool now that we're linked with the player. But when Levy's statement came out saying we spent 700 million, the whole of the Spurs fan base were pissed off. And it's like, yeah, cool. Just keep the same energy. That's what I'm saying. But in terms of the data and stuff, because I went off track, the numbers only mean something to who's reading the numbers. Like they can be interpreted differently. Like, for example, for everyone on YouTube, and for everyone in the comments, and you'll understand this, Jords, in it, because obviously you do YouTube as well. But something as simple as watch time, depending on how long your video is, the watch time will be more or less. But like, if people who are just starting to do videos, they won't understand. Like, they might think, oh, they're not watching my video. Like, nah, your video is 3 minutes, and it's gonna have less watch time than a video that's 8 minutes, even if it has more views. Like, it's simple things like that. But the way people will look at numbers determine how they value things. And yes, whether this goes for Kudus or it goes for Tel or it goes for anyone, they might have good numbers and good data and aspects that might affect the game. That's cool, innit? But they can also be heavily depending on how you look at them or how you break down the data, you could find that it's because of X, Y, and Z that the data shows this. It's because of what happened at Bayern or what happened in this game or what happened in that game. Like, data, for example, take-ons, it doesn't take into account the defender you're playing against. Like, your take-ons might be higher against Pedro Porro than it would be against, I don't know, like Malo Gusto or something. But it's just data. So yes, Tel and Kudus and whoever we sign may have good data and stuff like that, but it depends on how you break down the data to decide how much they're actually worth in it. Because like I haven't watched Kudus that much in it. So what did I do? I went to West Ham fans and asked them. I asked Mike's, I asked his chat, I asked Charlie, I asked people like that.
Did you not see when I came in? Mike's ripped into his opinion about Kudus, and what did he say? I was pretty much right about most of what I was saying. Mike's was feeling a little bit salty.
But the thing is, I talk to Mike.
You know what Mike's like?
I talk to Mike very much every day.
On the stream. Yes, Mike's is a salty guy. I've noticed.
Yeah, but I speak to people in his chat because I have West Ham fans in my chat. I ask them, and they tell me the same thing. Kudus ain't really that, bro. Like, he ain't that. Like, he's good, but he ain't that. And it's like, if I'm getting it,
had a guy, yeah. Well, you got friends, yeah. They might have a girlfriend, but they don't really want to be with that girl anymore. They're just doing everything they can to try and get out of the relationship, but they're not gonna, they don't want to break up with them, but they're gonna do things that make you want to break up. Yeah, they're not gonna be saying the good mornings, gonna be ignoring messages, gonna be doing things on a mad. They're just gonna be acting out of character. Yeah.
But so they want to sell Kudus to us.
You don't want to be at West Ham.
But they want to sell Kudus to us, though.
They don't want to sell it.
But they're happy Kudus is leaving, though.
They're happy he's leaving because they need money to fund their PSR and fund their next transfer window.
So exactly. So why would they?
He wants to leave.
If Bowen was leaving, would they be happy?
And now they're happy to get rid of him because he's been acting out of character for the past year. Of course, the girl eventually breaks up with your boy, but he doesn't care because he wanted out anyway. That's Kudus.
So if Bowen was leaving, would they be happy?
No, because Bowen is their number one player. Danny Dyer's son-in-law. Like, he is Mr. West Ham. It's different.
But they need money, though.
And he's English. Bro, you don't even make me say it, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
I'm just saying, it sounds like you ain't standing on business.
West Ham, no. West Ham.
Sounds like you ain't standing on business.
Bowen or Kudus? What fits better for West Ham?
I'm glad you stood on business.
No.
I'm glad you stand on business.
You just said it.
I'm glad it's big up Sol Campbell. I'm streaming with, bro. I hear it though. Big up Sol Campbell.
You tell me because I feel like I did put a poll in the chat to see.
No, Bowen's the golden child, sure, innit? But if Bowen decided he wanted to leave, right? Do you think West Ham fans would be happy that he's leaving?
No, they'd be fuming. It's Bowen. Right, the thing is, though, I would say that Bowen isn't as he's not as technically good as Kudus, but he performs at a consistent level more. But so let's just say Kudus for me can give you a 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10 performance, but then he will drop to like a 5 or 6 on some days. Cool. Bowen just gives you a 7 or 8 every single time. He's just very solid, very consistent. He doesn't give you a mad performance, but he'll score goals, he'll pop up. But Bowen's cold. I actually really like Bowen. So I wouldn't like, if you're comparing the players for West Ham, I'd say West Ham, Bowen's better for West Ham than Kudus will be or will ever be, because Bowen's the type of player that West Ham need. Steady going. Just like when they had Scott Parker, Mark Noble. These players aren't world beaters. But for West Ham, they're like the best player. They're going to be the captains. That's literally their captains. They went from Scott Parker to Noble to like fucking Nolan and Rice and then now to Bowen. Like, because they just like these very easy, steady Eddie English guys that can just lead their team, passion merchants, people that are very consistent. Scott Parker came to Tottenham and was giving us 7 out of 8 out of 10 performance, but he's our best player because he's just consistent. Now, Kudus may or may not be able to do that. That's what we need to see, whether Frank can bring that out of him. But I
So
think
you're
he
okay
will.
with Kudus being inconsistent?
I think
to
Frank
work
can bring
65
that out of
minutes.
him. I think that
Frank,
top
he's not
players,
Jesus, bro.
top players are. He's not Jesus, but he's a good coach. And you need to stop playing down his coaching abilities. You need to stop playing down.
I'm not
what
playing that. I'm not.
You
playing
remember?
down his coaching
You remember
abilities.
what Conte done to Hugo Lloris, Dyer, Ben for 6 months? They were playing out of their skin.
You're comparing Conte to Thomas Frank.
I'm talking about what coaches can do. What coaches can lift player performances. Antonio Conte is one of the best coaches in world football right now.
Lift as a manager.
No, I didn't compare them. I compared what they can do. Jose Mourinho. I'm saying what we've had in the past. We've missed that the past couple of years. Maybe because you've watched and just been making your eyes bleed so much, you forgot what a coach can do.
No, it's just coaches aren't fucking miracle workers, bro. I'm not expecting them to be out.
But they are. Some of them are. That's the point.
No,
Mourinho has been a miracle worker. Mourinho has been a miracle worker. So you think Sir Alex Ferguson wasn't a miracle worker, getting Ji-Sung Park to be one of the best players, bro, in the league at one point, bro?
He wasn't one of the best players in the league, bro.
Ji-Sung Park was going crazy in the midfield. You're seeing them say, Mark Ji-Sung Park, you're gonna mark Messi today. That's what they're on. He's doing her job. He's doing her job. I'm not saying he was a standout performer, but again, the 7, 8 out of 10 consistent performers. That's just if a coach can bring that out of a player. A coach can. You like Jacob Murphy last year?
He was okay.
Did you think he? Nah, I don't know what he's just don't, bro. He was sick last year, bro. He had a mad season last year. You can't downplay what Jacob Murphy done last year.
I didn't downplay it, bro.
You just said he was alright. He was alright.
He was calm.
He was cold, bro. Jacob Murphy was cold last year, bro.
Like, you see what I'm saying, bro? Like,
oh my!
All I'm saying is, I'm the only one on the panel that's been consistent.
You just don't like. No. You're consistently. You're just bad vibes about all players. This guy don't like. Players.
How am I bad?
And I did say there's something.
I said I was happy with the Takai signing.
There's something wrong with the eyes. That's what it is.
No, it's just I'm consistent. That's all it is, bro. I'm consistent, bro.
Maybe he's wearing mirrors and not glasses.
I just don't want to overpay for talent that's not going to be good enough in the end. That's all it is, bro.
I don't know.
Like, people talking about floor raising. We're supposed to be a top 6. We're supposed to be finishing if we don't finish in the top 6, it's a failure of a season, bro. I do hope you agree with this. If we don't win a trophy and we don't finish top 6, it's a failure of a season.
I said this the other day, and people thought
I
was on a rival show saying that
so you agree, yeah?
Top 6 is that's what I said to you earlier, bro. Did I not say?
I know. So I'm glad you agree. I'm glad you agree.
Minimum. Like,
so what does Kudus propel us to then? If we're supposed to be top 6 anyway?
The point is top 6 is the bare minimum, not as a realistic expectation, as my club expectation. So that's not me taking into consideration last year's performances. That's just me as a Tottenham fan. I'm a top 6 minimum is always been where I'm at. So
do you think this season, if let's say we don't sign Kudus, do you think for this season we'll finish top 6, or we should be finishing top 6?
We need some good signings to get there. I can't lie. I don't think that
you don't think we can finish top 6 already? We're just
not our current team. No.
What makes you think that?
What do you mean, bro? Our team is not that good. The teams above us are better than us. Aston Villa. No, I was going to say West Ham. Aston Villa are better than us.
How many squads in the Premier League have better squads than Tottenham?
I don't even want to do squad things because we can look at Spurs' squad and it's actually not that good. But more than anything, we have players that I think can perform better than they did last year. You're right. Maddison, Udogie. I think they'll perform better in this system. But I think right now, just like Matthews has said, we got a top 8 team probably.
So if we have a top 8 team, then why is finishing top 6?
But that's me being no. That's me being like optimistic with the top 8.
That's not optimistic. That's literally what we have. We have like the 7th or 8th best squad in the league.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean our team's going to perform at that level. Our team might not be at the right level, bro.
But no, we're supposed to. But that's the lowest level we should be. So why is finishing top 6?
No, our lowest level is 17th. We showed that this season. That's the point. Spurs are their worst at 17th.
Is that because of the squad, or is that because of the squad, or because we binned off the league?
No, come on, man. It's both. It's all a bit of, even if we, yourself, even if they decided to try harder in the last 6 or 7 games, we would have lost a few of them. We would have finished 15th at the tops.
So before last season started, where did you predict Spurs to finish?
Bro, before the season started, I was at Ange in, bro. So I was in another realm. We were both in another realm.
To finish? But where do you expect us to
Because
finish?
we was in different. We finished fifth the season before. I looked around and I was like, yeah, we could go fifth or sixth again. We can go
And
fifth.
based off what? Based off what?
Because I thought Ange was a good manager at that time. That he was improved. That he would
So it's
improve.
just
the
because.
changes.
So when we finished
And
well,
I
it's
thought
because
Ange
Ange is a
lifted
good
all the
manager.
squad.
But when
Ange-
we finish bad, it's because of the squad.
No. The squad wasn't that good going into the season. We didn't sign what we needed. We had clarified that in numerous of boardroom talks this season. And you know that because you've been on nearly every single one, that at the start of the year, we signed one starter player in Solanke. I mean, Mr. Box Office was telling us this as well, and I agreed with him. This is the one point I actually agreed with him. We signed Solanke, Odebert, Bergval, Archie Gray were all underwhelming signings at the time because we was expected Conor Gallagher, Eze or Pedro Neto. Remember, that's how this time last year, our links were Pedro Neto, Eze, Gallagher. And Spurs
But did you not finish even without them? But even without them, did you not finish Spurs would finish at least like did you not finish Spurs would at least finish 7th, 8th, 9th without those players?
No, but the point is that our squad was decent, but it was like when you saw the season actually play out, I looked at Newcastle, I was like, right, their squad's actually way better than us. And I looked at Aston Villa, I was like, right, their squad's actually way better than us. And I'm looking at these teams and I'm seeing them play out because the players they've
include
got
them though.
The
include
players
them. We still have the 7th, 8th first team. But include Villa and Newcastle. We still have like a 7th or 8th best squad in the league though. All right, call it 8th, cool. Why can't we finish 6th then?
Because we have to perform. Again, now you go back. You said Frank's not a miracle worker.
He's not.
So how's he going to make a team
coach.
jump 2 places better than his squad?
Because you don't have to be a miracle worker.
And the reason why I say that is because the other teams in Newcastle and Aston Villa both have really good coaches in Eddie Howe and Unai Emery, who I think have already lifted the level of their squads above where they're at. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you don't have to be a miracle worker to finish 6th. You don't. With this team, you don't have to be a miracle worker.
You don't have to be, but you need to work some type of miracles with certain players because I think this. I'll be honest. Clearly, you rate this squad a lot higher than I do. That's what it is. I don't rate.
I don't get how. I just don't get how.
We got Champions League this year, so we need to play 2 games a week with our best team.
Yeah, but that's not going to be for long because we're going to go out in the groups. But like, do you really think like
that's till January then? Because there's 8 games. The 8 games you play go until January, the end of Jan. So that's a long time. It's half the season, more than half the season.
That's fine. It's literally just the group stages. But the point is literally like,
you're getting mad.
Bro, Aston Villa came 6th and Nottingham Forest came 7th with 65 points. You don't think this team can get 65 points?
65, maybe. Ali, I'm being real with you. This team isn't that good, man. This front line right now, I'm looking at this front line. Tell, Son, Odebert, Johnson, Kulusevski, Maddison, Solanke, Richarlison. That doesn't move me. I need
the team.
You heard me say I need some. I need some Jogger Benito.
So wait, you know the team. You know the team that finished 5th under Ange. Was that team better then or better now?
No, so that team was lucky that the Premier League was bad that season. Had a bad year.
The Premier League was bad this season.
Bad year. No, it had a very it was a very bad year. For Tottenham and Man United, it was a bad year this year. But the other teams were a lot better. The overall level.
It was a bad year for the
Premier League. The overall level of the Premier League this season improved a lot more. Like the average teams.
No, it didn't. It got worse.
No, it got better, bro. Why was there such a gap between the relegation and the rest? Because the rest of the league has got better.
Look at literally second to like 7th. Bro, Arsenal lost the league like in game week 28, bro. Some bullshit like that.
Yeah, Liverpool were above the rest.
Liverpool weren't even like. Liverpool weren't even like they were obviously better than everyone, but they weren't crazy better than everyone.
You can get the Premier League table up from the season before that, and you can look at how bad some of the other teams were in the league, and that we should have finished in the top 4 of that league. We lost 6 games towards the end of the season and still finished 5th somehow. Like that game,
we finished 5th with 66. That's the same as this year.
66, but when you actually look at how we got it, so that's what I'm saying. Like Aston Villa finishing 4th. Bro, we should have finished
66. 66 would have gotten us Champions League this year or last year. It would have got us Champions League anyway.
Because the Premier League was more competitive. That's what I'm saying.
No, so the Premier League was worse.
The Premier League was way more competitive this last year. That
It was,
fifth, sixth, seventh,
it was
eighth
more
spot
competitive
way
this
more-
year because the better teams got worse and the worst teams got better. That's why it's more competitive this year or last
So,
year.
I mean, it was a harder league, bro. That's my point. It's a harder
But it didn't
league.
get better. It's harder because the better
levels are
teams
a
got
lot closer.
worse.
To the
They've
level
gotten
of
closer,
football.
but not better. But not better.
That's
They've
why
gotten
the
closer.
level is harder, bro, because you're
It's
all
not.
closer
But
together.
it's not better. The league isn't better. It's worse.
No.
It's
You're not.
worse.
No, you're just doing that. I don't know.
Okay,
whether you're doing
no, George, we're not doing this because you're capping for your clip.
Let's ask the chat.
You're capping for your clip, bro. Okay, Arsenal. Did Arsenal get better or worse compared to last season versus 2 years ago? Were they better or worse?
We going through the whole team. Arsenal were worse. Go on.
Man City,
Worse.
Chelsea,
Better.
Newcastle,
Better.
Villa,
Better.
Forest.
Better.
All right, cool. The rest of all right, that's fine. Those are fine because Newcastle
And you know that.
got better.
I didn't tell a cap.
Those are normal. Those are fine answers. Those are the right answers.
The league position shows that on all of those.
Yeah, no, those are the right answers. Those are the right answers. Man United,
Worse.
Tottenham,
Worse.
Palace,
Better.
better. All right, nice. I was hoping you didn't say worse. Bournemouth,
Better.
Brighton.
Better.
I said Forest, didn't it? Or Forest.
Yeah, you said Forest. They were better.
So, but they're better, innit? So, doesn't that show that the teams that were worse off got better and the teams that were better off got worse?
No, I agreed with that. But my point is the Premier League was a better season this season because naturally it was more competitive as the teams were closer together. So it made it harder. It made it harder to be one of the top 6 teams this year.
Yeah.
Whereas
No, I agree. But the reason why it got
harder.
harder is because the teams that were better got worse. So it's harder because the teams have gotten worse, not because everyone's gotten magically better.
I don't care about the top 3 because we're nowhere near them. So I don't even like Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Liverpool, and City. Forget about them because they're literally in a different realm to the rest of the Premier League. They're so much.
No, they're not.
They are though. This season it made it seem like it's not. But let's be honest. You look at the last 2 seasons. Even last year, yes. Look, Arsenal still finished again. It was only 5 points above Chelsea. But Arsenal had a bad. They had all their injuries at the end of the year. We know Arsenal at their best with some. They're not going to finish with 74 points this season. It's just not going to happen, bro.
Bro, the teams perform worse regardless. You could just watch them play. The team's worse.
Liverpool, City, and Arsenal are so much better than everyone else, bro. And they are. This year, you're going to see the same thing happen.
City were in 6th to 7th for the majority of the season. It's just because Forest are shit.
Why was that? Did Man City just not have a mad off year? Everything gone wrong for them. They're having problems with their captain.
Bro, if they lose one player and it's that much of a difference, then that means the team just performed worse. The team just got worse. That's all it was. There's a reason they brought Gundogan back from a free because they were desperate. They were desperate until January because all the players were gotten older and they didn't replace their players properly. That's why they went and bought young players.
You're right, bro. Because they didn't improve in the summer. From when they won the league, they didn't actually improve their team.
So if they don't improve, they get what?
Bro, they got worse, but they're still so far ahead of everyone else.
They got worse. They got worse to the point where Chelsea and Newcastle and Forest were ahead of them for the whole season pretty much until the last bit.
No, bro, but
that's what that means.
No, bro.
That's what that means. They got worse.
Bro, but you're not getting the point of what I'm saying.
Bro, you want to be different for the clip. I hear it, bro. I hear it because there's no way.
No one's trying to be different. You're not explaining. You're just trying to do like they got worse. No, the Premier League got better because it's more competitive. The Premier League is good or not based on its competitiveness. People don't watch the Booty Liga because they know Bayern Munich are going to win it. They don't watch PSG. They can't even sell. Ligue 1 can't sell their rights. They're fucking called the McDonald's or Uber Eats League because nobody wants to watch it because they know PSG are going to win it. The Premier League, you don't know. So, for me, the Premier League is better if it's more competitive.
Bro, oh my God. So if Bayern Munich sell their best players and end up finishing on like 75, 70 points in a 3-horse race for the Bundesliga, does that mean the league got better or the league got worse?
It means it got better for them. The league got better.
The league got better?
The league got better because it's a closer title race.
So we just fundamentally disagree then. Okay, that's fine. We just fundamentally disagree on what it means to be better.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
That's what it means.
Because I don't know. Like for me, I think if it's more competitive, then it means it's better. And that's because on a viewer perspective, the competitiveness is ultimately what brings people to watch. People don't want to watch.
That's the difference. You're speaking from it as a fan watching it. You're not speaking it as if the teams
That's
are
how
actually
I
better
would
than they were.
What are we?
The team itself isn't actually better. It's just because as a fan, you're like, oh, I don't know who will win it. That means it means it's more competitive, but it doesn't mean it's better. If the best player or the best team, like let's say PSG just got axed out of the French league, the league has gotten worse. But just because it's more competitive now, it doesn't mean it's better. The league is
the quality of the league will get worse simply because they've lost one massive quality team.
Yeah, the quality of the league in the Premier is worse. Yeah.
No, because
exactly. Yeah. Thank you.
No, because I'm talking about if PSG lost. No, only if
you're talking about it as a fan experience, not knowing who's going to win.
No, I'm talking about if you lost PSG, the quality because players are leaving, so the quality's got worse. But that's not the case for the Premier League. The Premier League's very different.
No, it's for the Premier League. The quality got worse. Yeah, it did.
It's not.
It did. The quality will be way better this year. The quality was very
quality
bad.
Will be better this year, yes, because again, teams are investing more money again. Teams actually spending. Last season, the quality, was still there. But the lower teams spent higher. The lower teams spent more.
No. Because Alanga's worth 50-something mil.
Why have we just seen? In fact, tell me this: why have we just seen Bournemouth sell 3 players to 3 of the best teams in the world? PSG, Real Madrid, Liverpool. 3 teams that just won their league. Bournemouth have had players that they all want. Zabani, 70 million pounds. Kirkes, Liverpool key signing 40 million pounds. Hodgson, 50 million pounds to Real Madrid. They all started the best teams in the world. These players are going to start. But that was 3 defenders for Bournemouth. So ideally, from what we're reading in that, Bournemouth had one of the best offenses in the world, the best defensive players, 3 of the best defenders in the world. So
if you want to go biology, sure.
The quality just wasn't at the bigger clubs.
No,
bro.
the Prem was just shit, so they look better than what they were. They look shit because they look better because the Prem was shit. Cool.
No, don't say that they look better. Cool. You know those players are good. You don't rate them. You don't rate those 3 players.
I rate them, but they're not crazily amazing, bro. They're not amazing. They're not amazing.
I don't know if you've watched any Club World Cup, but if you have, my guy, I got you. If you have Real Madrid, Hodgson doesn't look out of place. Hodgson doesn't. He actually looks like one of the better.
This is the worst Real Madrid team I've seen in my life.
You're doing too much, bro. It's not.
It's the worst Real Madrid I've seen in my life.
This is a good Real Madrid, bro. The quality of football has dropped over the last 20 years. That's just a natural thing.
It's one of the worst Real Madrid teams.
The argument you want to say is that Real Madrid's team is the worst quality, or the level of football is dropped. Then it's a different. But this is not the worst quality Real Madrid team we've seen.
But isn't that a direct impact to how good the team is, the quality of football they play?
No, because again, if the conversation was football better 20 years ago than now, then I would agree with you. I'm the one that goes out and says football is dying. I said football's only coming back when I see your Mao and Desire Doué and these types of players. This is when I see that football's coming back. But when you're talking about right now, you can only judge the quality for where it is. Hodgson is a top player who just went from Bournemouth to Real Madrid. But just like when Bellingham went from fucking Dortmund to Real Madrid or Birmingham to Dortmund. Like, the jump was mad, but he didn't look any different because the quality of players still there. All I'm saying is that the quality of good talent is more spread out now than it was back in the day, or it was 5 or 6 years ago, because the best players are the top teams.
I agree with that.
Like, even now, we saw in the chat earlier, Sava says Sunderland's got signing better players than us. That's because you would agree. How many times do you see like a small team sign a player and you're like, raw, I would have took that player. He's good. Because it's just how it works now. The Premier League, you can be a small club and pick up some good players.
You can, but that doesn't mean that the quality can't go down in the league, though. Like it went down last year. That doesn't change the fact the quality went down last year.
I think this guy agrees with you. Big up to Victory the Great. Big up the panel. Big up for you for the super chat, my bro. I don't know, is that Nigerian Nayara? Big up to the people checking in from Nigeria. Shout out to Niger, man. I hope this ain't a 419 account. I'm just saying, don't get me banned. Don't get me banned, Victory. The league was not competitive. The better teams got worse, and City was not the best team this season because they needed more work on their squad. Yeah, no doubt about that. We agree on that. But the league was not competitive. The better teams. If the league was not? The league was not competitive. The better teams got worse. That means if the better teams got worse, the league was more competitive.
I think maybe means the title race or something. Apart from the title race and the relegation spot, the league was competitive.
That's the thing. Yeah. The title race.
Apart from the title race was wrapped up, and the 3 relegation teams, we all knew who was going to get relegated. Apart from
Big
that,
up to
though,
my guy Elias, smash that like button. We're getting
the top 4, the Champions League to Europa League race was one of the best races we've seen in a while.
Yeah. It was. I think the top 4 race was proper.
Even
though we didn't have to scrap out for it. This is the first time that us man were just sitting back, cooling, legs up. You know, one of them ones like.
Man said legs up before we won the Europa League.
Scrap it out. Hey, you man, hey, peasants, fight, bro. Have you man ever been on the outside of, you know, back in the day, scramble? You ever seen a scramble?
You're the guy who threw the pound coin in that.
I threw the pound coin and just sitting there watching the chaos unfold. Do you know the worst thing is? When I was younger, it was the girls that would do it. They're mad. Girls are crazy. I promise you, there was a girl in my school. She would bring like 7-8 pound in every day just to scramble with niggas. Pause. I said pause. It's not pause.
It's not pause, but hey, corporate settings, isn't it? Corporate settings are here, man.
Yeah. But madness, bro. Like literally. Let me go to the aggressive guys. We're gonna throw the money, and everyone, you already know, man, them is hungry, bro.
They're fighting, bro.
Bangs, man, them are running in, booting people.
Especially, bro, 6 wins and chips for £1, bro. Those are the days.
Hey, you know that pound's feeding you, bro. Like bro. After school, you're not gonna be the one guy standing outside the shop with a no chicken and chips because it's dark. Them guys just hanging around waiting for one of their friends to offer them a wing or something. Like, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy.
Yeah, it's calm, man. Now we're seeing 6 wins and chips for like $5.99, bro. Some bullshit,
bro.
Man.
My shop does that, like, yeah, $5.99 or something. It's
insane, bro.
Insane. There was one thing that I wanted to quickly touch on because there was a signing. I saw the news said Mr. Udang put it in the chat earlier. I can't get up because it was probably like half hour ago. But he said regarding Rodrigo Muniz, I don't know if you know him, the Fulham striker. Apparently, we bid £32 million for him that got rejected. Would that be a type of player you'd be interested in? And for that price range, is he mid, dud? Like I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see what he's saying.
It's kind of mid, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's kind of mid. It's kind of mid, man. I want to see if we can sell Richarlison, man, or because obviously we're not selling Solanke, but it's like having 3 strikers at the club when Richarlison doesn't want to leave is insane. Oh my day! It was though.
In the building.
Has my broski.
But what source? It was Mr. Udang. He didn't actually put the source, but I'd believe Udang. He don't actually come in here with bad stuff. So
yeah,
he's definitely.
Because Richie has always wanted to stay because he wants to keep his spot in the Brazil team. Innit?
Richie just wants to be around it. You know them Brazilians. I've been saying for time they cling on to life at these. We never get the baller Brazilians. We always get the duds that are trying to cling on to their Spurs career. They've got nothing going for them apart from this Spurs career. Sandro,
it's international, bro. That's what it is. It's his spot because even I'm not actually. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Sandro was still flirting with an idea of playing in the Brazil team. So he wanted to stay at a club that has high enough stature because we've seen players like I forgot if I think the Netherlands manager, but I forgot who went to Saudi. And they basically
he said Steven Bergwijn. He said, Bergwijn basically writ off his opportunity to play in the Netherlands.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
serious, basically.
Yeah, it's that type of shit. So like, I think Richie, as long as he's at because he's still been a regular feature on the Brazil national team as long as he's been at Spurs. So I'm thinking his mind, I'm just guessing to be fair, but I think as long as he's at a club on the level of Spurs, he'll still be in for that playing for the national team kind of thing. So he's probably not looking at going to a Saudi stuff because I don't think it's a money thing for him. I think it's just play for his national team and try and win something internationally, which I understand, but it's also a bitch if you're trying to sell him because the teams that are on this type of level where he wants to stay, they don't want him. So it's just jarring, isn't it? But if we sign Muniz, I mean, I'm gonna have to see it, bro. I think he's a bit not completely sold, but it'll be interesting to see, innit? I guess.
Should we do a little number breakdown real quick? Let's do a little number breakdown before we head out. Let's see what the numbers is saying. Let me get my data MB up. Everyone knows I love a data MB. We're gonna see. Let's see what Muniz is saying on the data side of things. We're gonna compare him to Solanke, of course, the player that you don't rate.
No, Jay doesn't rate him. Jay doesn't rate him.
I know. Jay hates him. But I'm pretty sure you
Yeah,
sided
Jay.
with the other one.
No, I was saying Solanke's a good player. It's just like if he's dropping down to false 9, how's he going to score more than like 10 goals in the season? Bro?
Yeah,
like Brendan Johnson was the beneficiary of Solanke's build-up efforts. If we get actual wingers, then we'll definitely go back to scoring like 15, 20
So the first thing I've seen, let me share my screen here. I'm seeing this guy has played barely any minutes last year, so I don't even know why Spurs are looking. Also,
KJ, I take Harvey Elliott at Spurs. Yeah.
Nah. You want to ops at Spurs? That's a Spurs. That's an OG
Elliott.
Spurs.
Bro,
do you not remember that time Elliott was taking the piss out of Kane? He's in.
Is it?
Bro, Elliott went famous for that when he was like 16 in the academy, bro. He's trying to hate on Kane.
I didn't remember that.
Oh, yeah, he was trying to do a mad thing. Plus, he's a wrong one. I don't know if you know, Elliott's the guy that was getting onto his girl for following his teammates. He's going, why the fuck you following my teammate, fool? The DMs come out. I don't know if you've seen, yeah. No, I shouldn't say he's a wrong one, innit? Because you're not a wrong one for that. But, like...
He just been secure in that.
He was doing the mad thing, like he's doing the proper like going ham because his goal was.
Yeah, true. Say if Brennan starts in the Carabao Cup game and he gets benched, he might start going on a madness, start ripping up the locker room and that. Thinking he's done for the team. So Spurs.
But let's see. So minutes. That's where I saw. So when I was looking at him just a minute ago, data MB, there it is. That one's better. Last season, he only played 1,140 minutes. Now I don't know necessarily why the minutes is so low. But that's
doesn't Raul Jimenez start over him? Maybe it might be that.
Raul Jimenez does, but at the same time, he does play as well. But he's really look the way I see it, he's 24 years of age. We're looking at Kudus, and you're saying you want to see him at prime level. Muni's last season he only scored 8 goals. Let me go on this. I've got a few tabs open so we can see everything. Last season, look, he got 8 goals. He got more goals the season before. He had 9 in 26 games. He got 8 in 31 games last season. I think he played less games this season, to be fair, though. Most definitely.
Injuries, okay.
We can have a look at the injury status here. Oh, fuck McDonald's.
Jesus Christ, man.
Relentless, bro. They're relentless.
Bro.
He only missed 7 games last season. That's what I mean. I didn't recall him having bare injuries. Like he had.
Yeah, why?
He's missed the end of the season. That was it. He just missed the end of the season. But yeah, he didn't play that much. The data, what you can see here, conversion rate slightly higher than Solanke's. Off the Jules one, he's definitely more of a battler than Solanke. There's no doubt about that. Solanke gets bullied quite a bit. We saw that in the final with Harry Maguire. Man got thrown around all over the place. Muni's obviously a bit stronger there. Ariel is a bit stronger than Solanke. He's got some decent stats, but when you look at the numbers, obviously he's played half of the minutes that Solanke has, so his things are slightly inflated.
Plus touches in the box is crazy. 0.4, bro.
It's mad. I can't even lie.
That's
0.4
mad.
touches in the box is mad. That means he's
insanity,
literally
bro.
in the box. I did Strand Larson at Mr. Udang's request just to see a difference and a slight comparison because him and Muni's are pretty much the same age. But you can see here, even Strand Larson, though, for a tall guy, 8.6 aerial.
Jesus Christ.
It's like, bro, this guy is... Strand Larson's like 6'4". Correct me if I'm wrong. This
I swear he's tall, bro. He just looks tall. You know players who just look tall, fam. He just looks tall.
193, bro. He's like 6 foot.
Bro, he's bro. He's like 6'3", bro. He's like 6'3".
And he's hiding from the headers. He does have a good, and look, he's weak as well. 39.2 off Jules one. He's really not that strong. Touches in the box, though. He is good with his feet. That's the one thing I'll give Strand Larson. He's a bit nippy with his goals. He's got a good touch, and a good little get out of his feet to shoot. But I can't lie. I'll be honest.
Muniz just looks like another Richarlison to me, bro.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I think Muniz for me is a player that I'd be more than happy to probably miss out on. It's just like, hey, like, I don't need to be signing him. I don't think he takes our team to the next level. And for Champions League, definitely not the player we need. But big up to everyone that's been inside. I can't lie. This was just a spontaneous live that was supposed to be with Henry, but we ended up getting his arch nemesis inside. Did you actually have any words to say to Henry?
Not really. Maybe
an apology.
It's not personal, I guess. I mean, Some people think it's personal between me. It's not personal. I just critiqued a YouTuber whose method of making videos I didn't agree with. But it's not personal. Like, I still respect him as a Tottenham YouTuber, and I respect his opinion. So, and I'd advise everyone to respect him as a Tottenham YouTuber, and as a YouTuber. Respect, if you don't, as a Tottenham YouTuber, if you don't want to respect him, that's your choice, isn't it? But I respect his Tottenham opinion and his viewpoints. So I just don't agree with the amount of Arsenal content he made compared to Tottenham content. That was it.
No, I get it. And to be fair, like, I think Henry would be more than like, he'd be like, yeah, that's cool. Like, I don't know. Henry's a cool guy. I think some people take it the wrong way. Like I said, as a Tottenham YouTuber, he was very big. And for me, before I even started YouTube, Henry was one of the only big Tottenham YouTubers at the time. So people can't try this. Don't disrespect you that in the grind, man. Obviously, he's gonna be back on the channel though. We're gonna set up that video if it's tomorrow or sometime in the week. He'll be back. But in the meantime, we got
Elijah show. We actually need that, you know. We're cooking with Elijah. We need that to be a show name, you know. I can't lie.
I know that's gonna be the next show. That's what it's gonna be called. The next show, Cooking with Elijah.
We need to make that a show, bro. We have to make that a show.
Yeah. No doubt about that. We're gonna do it still. We're not gonna be cooking though. There's no cooking, people. Don't, and definitely no.
We'll be cooking other people.
Yeah, we're cooking. No violently doing what Deji says. None of that. You gotta go with the highest.
But that's how I know Deji's a goat, though. How can you say that, and no one says pause? I know he's a goat, man. What's this?
He really is. He really is. But big up, people. Make sure you go follow up Elijah. His channel is in the title. You can go get him there. We're going to be doing it. I know we've missed a few weeks of SSN, but it's just there's not been too much going on. We've spoke about all the current transfers. So next week, look out for that one, SSN. Cooking with Elijah. Look out for that too. And yeah, man. Until then.
Can I promote something real quick? 8:30, the Tottenham Awards show, Spurs Kings TV. Today? I'm going to be hosting. It's today, 8:30 p.m. I'm going to be hosting. I'm going to be hosting it with Marlon. So if you guys fuck with Spurs Kings TV, fuck with the Tottenham Awards show.
No. First of all, have you got a link? You know, in fact, I'm just gonna send people over there. I'm gonna redirect to that show anyway.
Okay, all right, redirect to it. Give it a like and wait for that.
Make sure you guys drop a like on the show. Make sure you're supporting your boy because I've got some awards to pick up. You know what I mean, dude? Hey, we got some awards to collect. Go. We're gonna get ready. Golden Durag's coming out tonight. The Golden Durag's and it matches the fit. What do you know? Look, the golden
it actually does as well, you know. Fairs, bro.
Yeah, people, bro. Make sure you drop. Yeah, in that chat, all I want to hear is
appreciate Mr. Reading, bro.
Durag Diaries for the win. Make sure you're just showing up the love. You're putting the W's in the chat, but more than anything, just your boy Jords for the win. Let's do that. Jords for the win. That's what we're doing. Jords for the win. Jords for the win, Raids. We're gonna send you over there and make sure you drop a like, drop a little message in the chat before. And 8:30 tonight, make sure you are there. Big up to Ilias, W Stream, my bro, and yeah, man. See Elijah there 8:30 tonight. I'll pop up in the chat for sure. Love people.